You've just been ripped off, and your balance sheet shows it's happened before. Isn't it time you acknowledge the fact that the most menacing threat to your business is crime? We're going to show you how to cut your losses due to crime by hardening the target. That's what this film is all about, the business of crime prevention. You may be asking, how do I harden the target? How do I protect my business and property from crime? What is this business of crime prevention?
A positive method of crime prevention is the security survey, which is a complete inspection of your premises by a qualified security expert in crime prevention. He may be a security consultant, your insurance agent, or the crime prevention officer of your local law enforcement agency. All will work with both security of property and safety of people in mind.
Chances are the security survey will cost you some money. If not for the survey itself, at least in implementing the necessary changes to harden your target. It may not cost a penny, but you could find you are incorrectly using your existing security, exposing yourself to risks. Now, it's reasonable to assume that you are watching this film because you are concerned about your vulnerability to crime. After all, by reducing your vulnerabilities, you're going to increase your profits. What we are going to discuss here falls under the name of risk management. Risk management is the evaluation of your loss potential due to crime, the analysis of proper security measures, and the implementation of cost-effective crime prevention techniques. In other words, consider the value of what it is you could lose against the cost of protecting it. Let's take a look at what a security survey consists of. It should incorporate at least 3 lines of defense against crime. The first line of defense begins at the perimeter of your property line and includes all of the area up to the building. The building is your second line of defense, and the interior constitutes the third line. The survey should start at the outer perimeter of your property and work inward. If you have a yard or storage lot, it should have a strong fence in good repair, which poses a formidable barrier to unwanted entry. Depending on your location, triple-strand barbed wire topping is recommended. When not in use, gates should be locked with security padlocks and hardened steel chains or hasps. The gates should have an opening and locking schedule assigned to one responsible employee. Utility poles are frequently found along fence lines. A dusk-to-dawn light correctly mounted on the pole will help to deter intruders. If your inventory warrants the cost of additional protection, consider electronic gates, alarms, closed-circuit television, and two-way communication to assist in the detection of intruders. In yard and parking areas, post warning signs encouraging customers and employees to always lock all unattended vehicles and to lock valuables in the trunk. Security on construction sites presents special problems. Risk management techniques should be used to determine your specific requirements. Some of the following security applications may be helpful. Store tools in heavy-duty metal boxes locked with security hardware. Placing a heavy pallet on top will deter all but the most desperate thief. Take the wheels off or immobilize your equipment to prevent unauthorized removal. Guards are cost-effective for short-term construction, while investment in security devices may be more economical for long-term periods. Consider renting an unmarked van for tool storage instead of using the obvious construction shed. Drive it back to the yard, park and lock it behind security fencing, and remove part of the wiring to prevent its theft. A clean yard shows your concern for good business practices and indicates good security safeguards prevail. As a general rule, your landscaping should provide visibility of your building from the street. Use prostrate evergreens on the ground and trim trees up at least 3 feet. Area alarm systems, trained guard dogs with regular security guard patrols, will also help to secure property that must be stored outside. At night, properly placed exterior lighting will deter intruders and enhance the appearance of your establishment. Illuminate your entire property, including the roof, with high-intensity lighting. Be sure the lights do not shine into the eyes of passing citizens or patrolling law enforcement officers. Inspect your lights regularly. Replace burned out or broken lights immediately, and protect your light fixtures with vandal-resistant covers. The building is your second line of defense. This is the intruder's primary point of attack. Every opening in your building is a potential point of illegal entry. First, let's consider the windows. Most commercial buildings utilize some form of glazing material for architectural design, display, or the transmission of light. There are 5 basic types of glazing materials available: window glass, wire-reinforced glass, tempered safety glass, laminated safety glass, and thermoplastic or polycarbonate. Window glass is probably the most common glazing material in use today. When attacked, it breaks easily into jagged pieces, affording no security. Wire-reinforced glass has little security value. It, too, is vulnerable to intrusion. Tempered safety glass is commonly found in sliding glass doors and in narrow-style aluminum doors. This material is designed for safety and can withstand moderate attack. However, it is not a security material and does have its own weakness. There are 2 types of safety material that are also security material. The first is laminated safety glass, the same material that is found in the windshield of your car. Put together with a thick vinyl interlayer, it is an excellent security glazing material. The toughest of all glazing is a product of the space age called thermoplastic or polycarbonate. While it can be marked, it is very difficult to break. And now, how about the doors of your business? Most exterior doors are constructed of steel, aluminum alloy with glass, polycarbonate materials, or solid core hardwood. If you have exterior solid core wood doors in your building, consider reinforcing them. We recommend a minimum of 16-gauge sheet steel, securely fastened into place on the door. Never use hollow core doors on the exterior of your building. Doors with glass should have burglar-resistant glazing material installed and could be alarmed. Double doors should be secured with heavy-duty, multiple-point locking devices. Cane bolts. Steel or wooden bars snugly fitted into braces on the inside and locked into place.
Speaking of locks, there are several types you should be acquainted with. This is the all too common spring latch or snap lock. It is useless as a security device. This is a similar locking device with an anti-shim device behind the spring-loaded latch. When the bolt is depressed by the strike in the normally closed position, the latch is protected against opening by shim-type attack. This device will not stop jimmy-type attack methods, however. For that, you should install a good deadbolt lock. This is a good deadbolt. It has a bolt throw of at least 1 inch so that pry bars or frame spreaders cannot easily be used to force the door open. The cylinder is pick resistant, and a tapered hardened steel cylinder guard prevents use of a wrench on the cylinder. An insert of hardened material, as seen in the bolt, will resist sawing.
Another thing, Check to see if your exterior doors have hinges on the outside. If the hinges are on the outside, install non-removable hinge bolts or pin all hinges. On locked interior doors, install jam studs. Even with the hinge pins removed, the door cannot be lifted away. A majority of stores use narrow-style aluminum and glass doors. These doors are particularly susceptible to prying apart and ripping the strike area.
To protect against this, consider using a maximum security bolt. This should have a bolt throw of at least 1 inch and a cylinder guard and an armored strike. Greater protection can be obtained by using at least a 3-point deadlock with bolts in both the threshold and the header and the main bolt spanning both doors. A ceramic insert like this in the deadbolt prevents sawing.
On some of your doors and gates, you will want to use a padlock, especially in remote areas. Because most assaults on padlocks are made with bolt cutters or pry bars, you should know what constitutes a good padlock.
The padlock should have a laminated or extruded case. The shackle should be of hardened steel and have a minimum diameter of 9/32 of an inch. It should have both heel and toe locking. These notches tell you that. The cylinder is pick resistant with at least 5 pin tumblers in the cylinder, and it should have a key retaining feature which prevents removal of the key until it is locked.
If you use the padlock on a hasp or chain, make sure they too are made of hardened steel and are well secured to the structure. When a gate is left open, lock the padlock to the gate to prevent a thief from substituting his own lock for later use. Some padlocks have a number on the bottom. This number is what a key cutter needs to make a duplicate key. Prevent unwanted keys by obliterating this number. We can't leave the subject of locks without talking about keys. Without proper key control, locks are useless. Delegate the responsibility and assign the authority to one trusted employee for your company's total key control. Keep a record of all keys. Master keys and duplicates should be locked away for safekeeping. Have all keys stamped with the words "Do not duplicate." And when you cannot account for one of your keys, have the lock cylinder rekeyed. Rekeying should also be considered after principal employee changes. Let's return to our security survey model for a moment to see if we have overlooked anything in our second line of defense or outside the building. Always consider installing bars, grills, grates, or heavy-duty security screening over the windows. Are the skylight, ventilation shafts, air conditioning, heating ducts, and crawl holes secure? Really secure? If your law enforcement agency uses helicopters for patrol, put your street number on the roof facing the street. You might also consider a strobe light attached to your alarm system to attract the pilot at night.
have said that the building is the intruder's object of attack. Valuable items or merchandise in the building are the thief's target. As a businessman, you will have to take a cost versus risk approach towards the protection of your business assets.
You may find that your business may only require high-security locking devices. But as your assets increase, your best investment in the prevention of crimes against your business may be the installation and maintenance of an alarm system tailored to your business needs. Let's be honest. The primary purpose of an alarm system is to deter an intruder from entering your premises and to alert law enforcement of an illegal entry. To determine your specific alarm needs, you should contact a reputable security consultant for his advice. He can be found in the yellow pages of the telephone directory under Security. Your security requirements may also be reviewed by your insurance broker and/or your local law enforcement crime prevention officer to assure proper protection. Regardless of the kind of intrusion detection system you select, be sure to consider these features: smoke and flame detection equipment, a battery backup system in case of power failure, and a testing feature to check the system. Now let's look at the third line of defense, the interior of your building. Your business may require a security room to protect expensive merchandise, tools, or other highly valued equipment. Its size is dependent upon your specific needs. Regardless of the size of your business, you should have a safe in which to keep your money and valuable records. Put your money in here, a money safe, not in a safe like this, which is designed to hold records safe from fire. Fire-rated safes are not designed to protect money. Many safes are UL rated as a guide to their effectiveness. Safes should be well lighted and anchored firmly to the floor. Limit the number of persons having access to the combination and change the combination when principal employees leave. Your third line of defense may also include spot or point protection for other valuables. Operation Identification is a program you should be acquainted with. Thieves do not like to take merchandise which can later be identified because the chance of getting caught with the goods is too great. So keep a complete list of the serial numbers of all company equipment. Engrave your driver's license number on all items. This number can be traced in minutes by your law enforcement agency.
Request DMV information on that number also, please.
C6. C6 be advised, the tape recorder is code
40967.
If your business has a shipping and receiving area, the chances are extremely good that you are losing money to crime there. Shipping, receiving, and employee thefts exceed all other crimes of business theft in dollar losses. These losses exceed $1.5 billion annually. Good housekeeping will reduce your losses considerably. The old adage, out of sight, out of mind, will prevent opportunities for thefts by your employees. Some businesses accept theft as an evil they must live with, and and pass the costs on to the customer. Little do these businessmen realize that the store that saves its customers the additional cost of missing merchandise, or shrinkage as it is sometimes called, attracts more and more new customers. Here are some suggestions that will cut your risks to a bare minimum in your shipping and receiving areas. Move the employee and customer parking away from the receiving docks. Don't allow truckers to walk freely about your loading docks and warehouse. And be on the alert to guards becoming too friendly with personnel. Don't leave access doors to the rear of the building unlocked or unguarded. Keep the shipping and receiving areas uncluttered, and separate the merchandise received from the merchandise to be shipped. Pay close attention to bills of lading, and make sure shipping orders tally with the merchandise received. Think about having a guard or staging area manager double-check all partially loaded boxes as they arrive on the dock. As soon as the order is checked and all items accounted for, seal partially loaded boxes, crates, or containers immediately. And another thing, keep the loading dock free of undesignated merchandise. Frequent inventories discourage thefts. Installation of closed-circuit TV deters thefts. If you allow trucks with merchandise to remain on your property overnight, consider these extra security precautions. Use high-security padlocks. Immobilize the trucks. Use guards or guard dogs. Install high-visibility lighting. Never take for granted that the presence of employees working in your building at night will protect your trucks. They are not security-minded and are not paid to protect your merchandise and property.
How many of you think that it isn't necessary to pay out the extra costs of protecting your business and property because you have insurance to cover your losses? We asked Mr. Fred Dupuy, Executive Vice President of the Independent Insurance Agents Association, to comment.
Thank you, Ron. The purpose of insurance is to protect the policyholder from unexpected losses, not for incidental loss of time or customer goodwill. Insurance companies in general won't insure a business unless the property is protected. Also, they are permitted to refuse to pay a claim if there is no evidence of forcible entry or exit. Premiums are lower for those who protect their business and property. Fire protection, added to an adequate alarm system, generally results in lower rates. Bear in mind, too, we're not talking here just about dollars, but in many instances, human tragedy. Your insurance agent should be a partner with you in the protection of your property and your business.
If your business deals with the public, chances are you have a problem with checks and credit cards. Be sure to have these included in your security survey. Perhaps the most important protection you can have against bad checks and fraudulent credit card use is a good employee training program. Information on training employees can be found at your law enforcement agency, small business administration, bank, or from a member of the International Credit Card Investigators Association. There are other areas that the survey should go into, such as a shopping service to test clerks for accuracy and honesty, shoplifting surveillance, and pilferage protection. Discuss these items also with the person conducting your security survey.
Law enforcement recognizes that if it is to be effective against crime, it must educate the community in crime prevention techniques. Your business and your property can be as safe as you want to make it. Help and assistance is yours for the asking. Ask for it today. You'll sleep better at night.